Hi, it's me. Okay, so it's chapters 7 and 8 on Frankenstein, and then I'm going to switch it and I'm going to do probably, I'll shut it off and I'll do a 9, 10, and then I'll do an 11 and 12. Sorry, I'm just trying to get comfy. It is, for me, Sunday night at 10 o'clock, and I was up till 4 this morning reading. Mr. Schroeder didn't know I stayed up so late. I've got so much time on my hands. I was reading anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and do chapter 7 and 8, and then I'm going to upload a different video for 9 and 10 and a different video for 11 and 12. Okay? You might hear the boys are next door, and they said they were going to try to come in and do bloopers, so we would have a blooper reel. But anyway, let's get down to business. Chapter 7 and 8. For Frankenstein, number 1, what news does Alphonse Frankenstein tell Victor in a letter? He tells Victor that William is dead. Victor's youngest brother, William, is dead. Number 2, describe why Elizabeth blames herself. Elizabeth blames herself because they were going out as a family, taking a walk, and William had asked if he could wear this little miniature. And the miniature was a pendant, like a locket, but instead of it being closed and have to open to see the picture, it actually just is a picture of the person, and you would just pin it on your shirt. And sometimes soldiers would wear them into war, into battle, and they would wear them on their arm. And you've heard the phrase, I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve. That's partially where the phrase came from. In addition to that, however, the miniatures were very valuable, and they were valuable if you were from a wealthy family, because you would oftentimes get a major painter or a portrait artist to paint these pictures for you. So it wasn't just like a stick figure like Mama Schroeder draws and it's horrible and you're like, you're not an artist, obviously. But they were beautiful. So they were works of art. And in addition to that, the edge of the frame that these miniatures were on or were in were oftentimes made of gold. They had jewels on them, depending on how wealthy the family was. So they were very valuable. So that's why Elizabeth feels that William was killed, because he had asked to wear the miniature that had his mother's picture on it. And I like saying the word miniature as opposed to miniature. Miniature. All right. Number 3. I'm sorry. How long has it been since Victor left home? There's a lot of not debate about, but it's been about 6 years since he's left home. Number 4, why does Victor pass the night outside in a lightning storm? Because he has come home to Geneva and the gates of the village are closed. If you've ever seen Lord of the Rings, for example, the Fellowship of the Ring, when Frodo and Samwise Gamgee and Merry and Pip go to try to meet Gandalf at the Inn of the Prancing Pony, and they go to the village and they have to knock on the gate to get in. And the guy slides the door open and he looks around, or the window open, and he looks down, he sees the hobbits, and he closes it and he goes down lower and he opens it. Well, they have gates and fortresses, basically, or fortifications built around the city walls because they had to protect their inhabitants. And so Victor was locked out. He was locked out of the city of Geneva, so he had to stay outside and spend the night outside. So let's look at the next question. Question numero 5. Who does he see? He sees the creature. Now, Victor's a horrible father. I'm not going to lie. Terrible dad, because he created this creature an entire year before, right? And he hasn't really even thought about him since. He had his nervous breakdown. Henry, his BFF, nursed him back to health. What a great guy. But Victor's just been living the life of Riley. Not once does he stop and go, whatever happened to that creature I created? Not once. Oy, Victor. Ugh. So instead, we don't know where the creature has been. Yes, Victor also could have imagined that the creature, and creating the creature, as I said before we went on the break, could have been a figment of his imagination, but we don't know that for sure. Number 6, why doesn't Victor tell his family and the police what he knows of the murder? Because they're going to think he's nuts. Hi, Mom and Dad. Or, sorry, Mom's dead. Hi, Dad. Hi, Elizabeth, the woman that I love. That's kind of my sister. We've talked about that. Get over it. She's not a sister. Hi, brother that is only in the story twice, Ernst. Yeah, so I created this creature. I used to, go in through this little hole in the mortuary in Ingolstadt, and I would steal body parts and then I would sew them together. They're not going to believe him. They're going to think he's nuts, which it sounds like he is. And he did have a nervous breakdown, and that's why Henry nursed him back to health, remember? So, of course, they're not going to believe him, and he doesn't want to sound like he's losing his mind. Let's look at the next question. Why has Justine been accused of murder? Justine's been accused of murder because she was found with the locket in her pocket. I love saying that every year. I had to say locket in her pocket. The miniature. Justine was out, and we will learn Justine's story later, like the full length of it. I'm not going to go into detail right now, but she was out visiting family, or not family, visiting friends outside of the city walls. And when she was coming back, somebody said, "Have you seen the boy that's missing?" And she said, "Who?" And they said, "Frankenstein." And she went, "Oh, William Frankenstein, he's like my little bro." So she was looking for him, and she went to sleep in a barn because by the time she was done looking, the city gates had closed. So she slept in a barn that night, and she got sick. And then she came home the next day, and she was having like horrible fever and a headache, and she just was not doing good at all. So as her friends, the other servants, were helping her get undressed to get into bed, the locket fell out of her pocket. What? How did that happen? We don't know. I know, but you don't. Sucker! So we've got to figure it out, and we will, because you have to keep reading. So continuing on. Number 8, how could Victor have saved her life at the trial? Oh, Victor. What a jerk. Seriously, Victor. Victor could have saved her life at the trial because, yeah, I know. I said a few questions ago that he didn't want to seem like he was nuts, but all he had to do was tell his dad, "Pops, you're big in this community. You have a lot of influence. I need you to stop the trial for 2 weeks. And then I need you to come to Ingolstadt with me. And then I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. But you got to believe me, it's true. Okay, it's true." He really needs to help continue to bring a reasonable doubt for Justine. And he doesn't. He knows the truth, but he doesn't stand up for her. He doesn't try to help her. He doesn't attempt even to do anything to set her free when we know that she is innocent. Jerk. Poor Justine. She's had a horrible life. We've already talked about her life, and now this is how it's going to end. And it is how it ends. Poor baby. Pobrecita. Number 10, explain who Victor feels sorry for the most and why. I gotta tell you, Victor Frankenstein is not my favorite character in the world in literature. I love reading this book and I love teaching this book. But Victor feels the most sorry for, wait for it, himself. Come on, Victor. Seriously? Justine just lost her life because of you. Elizabeth lost her best friend because of you. William is dead because of the creature that you created. Possibly. We don't know. That's just supposition, but gotta figure that one out. Come on, seriously? And you're saying that, oh, I feel sorry the most for myself? How selfish can you be? And why does Justine confess? Number 11. Do you remember last year when you read The Crucible, or you were supposed to read The Crucible? All you, they're like, "Oh yeah, I got that book from the library, but I never read it." Yeah, suckers. Justine confessed because very similar to Tituba. If you recall in The Crucible, Tituba confessed because they said that they would go easier on her. So it was kind of like that, but it was also because they badgered her and they made her doubt herself, even though she knows she would never kill William, ever. She confessed. She didn't feel like she had a choice, poor baby. So she confessed because she didn't remember. And she thought, oh my gosh, what if I did? What if I did? But she didn't. We know she didn't. Shh. All right, that's the end of chapter 7 through 8. Miss you guys, love you guys. Stay healthy, please. Keep away from each other. Just Snapchat and TikTok and all those other crazy things you do. Woo! And love you. And I'm going to upload this and chapters 9 and 10, and then 11 and 12. Have a great day. LRHS. Be safe.